Hi there. I've been talking about how important it is to me to go inward and really get awareness of patterns. Habits and patterns are things that hold us back from really being free in life. And we all have them. We've all been programmed through our past. But the beautiful thing is, what we can do is become an observer and actually shift our perspective and dissolve pieces of fear, because when we dissolve some fear we become more love. And what I believe is there's a time where we become more love than fear, and I feel like I'm there. I feel like I am getting to be more, like way more love than I am fear. And so what I've done to make this process easier for people, and it's actually something, everything that I do is for myself also, because I want as much peace and as much joy as I can have in my life. I just made a video about, my cancer journeys and how fucking hard it was. But I, so yeah, I've gone through a lot of hard shit in my life, but I do not want that to stop me from having peace and joy in my life. I want to have as much fucking peace and as much fucking fun as I possibly can. And in order to do that, I want to get rid of as much of the fear and the programs and the rigid beliefs that I can, in order to feel more free and have more fun. So, because I'm a very intuitive person. I've been doing this for almost 19 years. When I work with people, my intuition is really, really great. But the truth of the matter is, when you're trying to be intuitive with yourself, it's like trying to see the back of your head. Like, because you're the one stuck in the habit pattern, it's hard to see it. So that's why it's much harder to do work on yourself than it is to facilitate the work with other people. So this is why I created this deck for myself and for others to use it, to become aware of your patterns, to get a message from spirit, and free that part of you. And it's a beautiful, beautiful process. And it is like, it's a gentle process. It's a daily process. That to me is the purpose of life, is having more peace and more fun every single day. And to be perfectly honest, I don't think I've been so good at fun. And I'm just really recognizing that. And thanks to this beautiful deck that I've been using, I just feel more and more free every day. So that's why I want to start to share these sessions again. I kind of stopped for a while. I was only doing them for my memberships, for my members, but I want to do it now again for everybody every day. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to work on our happiness. Now, I've just literally taped messages on the back of these beautiful decks that I already had, but I'm going to be getting these professionally made so that I can hopefully sell them in the near future. So we're looking at our happiness. That is the focus of what we're doing right now. And so this card that I'm going to pull is going to be the thing that is getting in our way. And that is worry. So I can definitely relate to that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to see what our worry is getting in the way of. So worrying is getting in the way of us, of our faith. Okay, so that's really beautiful, because worry literally is the opposite of faith. But it doesn't mean that, if we worry, we're not faithful. It means that it's getting in the way of it. So I said, we want to become more love than fear. I'm not here to say you're going to do some session and you're just going to magically be faithful. You're going to be happy all the time. No, this is a daily process. We get to create a daily practice. We get to realize that we're going to start our day out Some people start their day out in joy and then they move through the day and they get stressed out through the day. Other people wake up with worry and they do a practice and then they move through the day feeling like more peace and more joy. Everybody's different and the day literally is like this. So it's to be able to accept that you're going to have different emotions through the day. There's nothing wrong with it. But I'm also here to share that there are things that you can do. And my website is now full of tools because what I believe to be true is my purpose on the planet is to share the tools that worked for me when I was going through the hardest times of my life. I actually believe that's why I suffered so fucking much through life and was hit with so many challenges because God, the Divine Mother and the Divine Father, and this could be wrong, but this is my belief, the Divine Mother and the Divine Father just knew that when I found peace and joy, I was going to share it with the fucking planet, and that's what I'm here to do. So, faith to me, like there's trust and there's faith. To me, trusting is feeling held by the divine. Just really feeling safe, really feeling loved, really believing that there is a divine mother and a divine father. However you see it, doesn't matter. But really listening to those messages from spirit. We all have intuition, and that's when we sit in the moment that we actually hear the messages from source, from God, from whatever you want to call it. Faith to me is the next step, that we do what we feel we're being called to do. That to me is faith, is stepping in the direction of what the Divine Mother and Father are telling us to do. Trusting is listening, faith is doing. And again, you don't have to agree with me, but that's how I see it. So we are now looking at our faith. So worry is getting in the way of faith. If we had total faith, and like I said, we're probably not going to have 100% faith, as long as we're living in these, human minds that are programmed by fear. But we're going to have as much as we can every single day, just like we're going to have as much peace as we can, as much fun as we can, as much joy as we can. But worrying is really showing us that we're not that faithful. And so that's why I believe that the more we sit in the moment with the Divine Mother and the Divine Father and feel held and know that we're safe and know that we're being provided for, the more that we see the blessings through the messes that we're sent or that we're challenged with in our lives, the more we actually see that, the less we're going to worry. And I see this happening in my own life. Like, I just fear less and live more. And I think that's really the purpose of life. So the message, so the practical action moving forward is actually to express yourself fully. And there are different levels of expression. Sometimes, expression means getting sad about it and being okay being sad. Other times expressing means get angry about it and be okay, just like really facing what's going on in your life or what has happened in your life. And anger is the energy that moves things. So anger is the first step, and that's the practical action for us now, is really get angry, allow yourself to be angry, but with the purpose of moving next to the sadness and really, really feeling it. So the message from Spirit that we're receiving today is, we are clearing the path for you. Please let go of what is not serving you. Set yourself free. Make room for new blessings. So that is our message today. So really, truly allow yourself to express, allow yourself to be angry, but move through it and move to the sadness, which then moves into wisdom, which then moves into surrender, which is faith. Have a